Your side at 10.
Good evening, I'm Ann Allred. Tonight we are in a weather alert as severe storms begin to move into our viewing area. Let's get to Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell with a look at your Weather First forecast.
Well, you know, Ann, we are tracking showers and thunderstorms. They're not in our area just yet, but they are in northern Missouri, and they've really developed within the last 90 minutes or so, northeast of Kansas City and west of Kirksville. And these storms are producing some large hail and some gusty winds, and they're spinning as well. So there are severe thunderstorm warnings with these storms, particularly these two supercells, one that's just to the west of Trenton, another one just to the northwest of Plattsburgh. So this is the area to watch for continued development here across northern Missouri, especially west of Kirksville in the next couple of hours. Now, we do have a severe thunderstorm watch that includes that area and stretches over towards the Quincy-Hannibal area and down into Bowling Green. So it does include Pike County in Missouri. And as you look at our future cast here, you can see those showers and thunderstorms will be drifting in here through the wee hours in the morning. Now, by the time they get closer to St. Louis, they should be in that weakening state. So we're not expecting a lot of big time weather situations here in the metro area, but do be prepared for some rumbling as those storms move in. And certainly in the metro, that's after 3 a.m. Between, let's say, 1 and 3 in the Bowling Green area, there could be some gusty winds and hail with those storms.
Stay on top of the Weather First forecast 24/7. Just text the word weather to 314-425-5355. We will send it right to your phone. Days after St. Louis Hill residents voted to pay more taxes to bring extra manpower to keep their streets safe, other neighborhoods are considering a similar idea. Tonight, our Brent Solomon met with leaders in the Hill about their plans for private security. Brent.
Well, Ann, they say it's for peace of mind. It's just a thought at the moment. Neighbors are in the process of doing research to figure out if it's the best option for them. But they say it's time to do something.
Home is where the heart is.
When you live in the Hill, it feels like you live on vacation. The corner stores, the restaurants, the people walking around.
It's why Jim Barnthouse heads the Hill 2000 Neighborhood Association. He loves living in what he calls one of the safest communities in St. Louis. But that doesn't mean it's immune to crime.
Every single neighborhood association meeting we have, it's the #1 topic. And it's people like, hey, my car got broken, so what are we going to do about it?
One option is what some other city neighborhoods have already implemented, paying higher taxes for private security.
Within the last handful of years, it seems like we have had an uptick in issues on the Hill. What we are doing now is reaching out to local security firms. We have priced services from 3 to 4 different firms in the area.
Last summer, the Holly Hills neighborhood took that route, neighbors agreeing to pay some $200 to put off-duty police officers on their streets. Just this week, St. Louis Hills approved a tax hike with the same goal of making their community safer.
I know from working with our police liaison that the city police are working very hard. They are extremely responsive. Unfortunately, we hear this a lot, they're stretched and they're stretched thin. Unfortunately, it just doesn't seem like there is enough officers to deal with things in the district or in the area.
So today I caught up with an officer who works for city police and for a private security firm. He says he picks up about 25 extra hours a week after working his full-time job with SLMPD. Today, a city spokesman telling me the city will continue to work with Holly Hills and the some 100 other local tax districts all across the city.
Tonight, newly released video shows the moments leading up to a hit and run near Busch Stadium. We want to warn you, you may find this disturbing to watch. Surveillance video shows a black Dodge pickup truck pushing a golf cart near the intersection of South Broadway and Clark Avenue after the Cardinals game Sunday. When the two people inside the golf cart confronted the driver, they accelerated further down the street. And then the exchange continued right here. The truck eventually struck both of those men, nearly driving over one, the one in the red shirt, before speeding east on Clark. Police say the victim suffered minor injuries, and tonight they're still looking for that driver. Tonight, several people are recovering after a boat exploded at the Lake of the Ozarks. It happened at the Millstone Marina this afternoon. Missouri Highway Patrol says gas fumes built up in the engine area and a spark set off the explosion. 16 people were hurt, with injuries ranging from minor to moderate. Tonight, St. Louis police are investigating vandalism in Lafayette Park. Someone fired a paintball gun at the George Washington statue. The Lafayette Park Conservancy Group says they're working to have the paint removed without damaging the statue. We've reached out to police to see if they have any suspects. Tonight, the Taste of St. Louis kicked off for the first night of delicious local eats. Dozens of food, vendors, live music, a culinary stage. It can all be enjoyed this weekend. It's happening at Ballpark Village. 5 on Your Side's Diamond Palmer gives us a taste of what you can expect.
There's that, my man.
Hundreds of foodies will make their way downtown this weekend for the Taste of St. Louis.
That I tore up an elote, the OG one from one of these tents. I had cheesecake, strawberry, rangoons, or just rangoons. And then I had the peach ice cream and strawberry ice cream, and then this lemonade.
While Gabrielle Workman is no stranger to the taste, it's the first time for Amy Gresham.
I am holding some kind of jerk French fries from the Crooked Boot and some red beans and rice. And how does it taste? The red beans and rice are phenomenal.
And yours should be right up.
There's 30 food vendors this year, including Bayou Seasoning and Catering, who've been selling their food at the event for the past 15 years.
We do etouffee, jambalaya, red bean, catfish basket, a chapalaya, which is crawfish over fried catfish baskets. We do voodoo fries. We're here to serve y'all.
The Taste of St. Louis not only welcomes food trucks, but also brick and mortars, including Salt and Smoke. This is their third year doing the event.
The brisket slider combo and a rib.
We got our brisket, which we serve in as sliders. Then we also got our pulled pork. Both come as sliders with options of potato salad and coleslaw. We get to see and feel in the immediate time zone of what they like, and we can adjust it in that same kind of category. Because all about barbecue is about the relationship you build with them. Because barbecue is for besties.
2 sliders and a wing.
Salt and Smoke has made it their mission to come to the taste. Colley says what keeps them coming back is being connected with the community and being an active force in it.
Thank you very much.
Diamond Palmer, 5 on Your Side.
It looks good. The Taste of St. Louis will continue tomorrow from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Sunday, the hours are 11 to 6. For more information, look for this story in the As Seen on TV section of KSDK.com. Tonight, an 8th parish set to consolidate under the All Things New plan will remain open for now. Earlier this month, the Archdiocese of St. Louis implemented its plan to close or merge 178 parishes into 134. Our Lady of Sorrows Parish appealed its merger to the Vatican. It recently received a new decree pausing that effort. The decrees will be suspended at the 8 parishes until the Vatican makes a decision, which the Archdiocese says could take months. There's a new opportunity for former employees at South City Hospital. Last week, the historic hospital closed, leaving hundreds without a job. Today, SLATE, the St. Louis Agency on Training and Employment, hosted 2 job fairs to help the more than 500 people who were laid off. We caught up with a nurse practitioner who was fired last week. She says this job fair has opened doors.
Great, because there's a lot of great people that work there, and since everything was so abruptly ended, I think it was great that they were able to get us the opportunity to get a job right away.
For those still looking for work, SLATE says it will have more job fairs like this later in the year. If you have questions, you can reach out to SLATE. Their phone number's on the screen, 314-589-8000. The loved ones of these 4 people say the 911 system in the city of St. Louis failed them because they were put on hold when they needed a lifeline. 3 of them, these 3, died. A 5 on Your Side viewer asked the Verify team, can the state step in to make sure calls are answered? The interim public safety director of St. Louis, Charles Coyle, said in July that the city is short 40 police dispatchers and 10 EMS dispatchers. 5 on Your Side viewer Ray asked the Verify team, could Missouri National Guard soldiers answer the city's 911 phone lines until the open positions can be filled? Let's verify. Our sources, the Army National Guard, the Missouri Attorney General's office, the spokesperson for Governor Parson, and Missouri law. 2 authorities can activate the National Guard, the President of the United States and state governors. Missouri law says the governor can activate the National Guard when, in his opinion, circumstances so warrant. And it makes specific reference to situations where conditions of distress or hazard to public health and safety beyond the capacities of local or other established agencies. Bottom line, it's at the governor's discretion. I asked if Governor Parson would consider mobilizing the Guard in this instance, His spokesperson, Jonathan Shiflett, said Governor Parson does not have plans to mobilize the National Guard to operate 911 phone lines in St. Louis at this time. This comes down to a local issue, and Governor Parson hopes that local leaders will prioritize this public safety need. We can verify, yes, Governor Parson has the power to activate the Missouri National Guard to answer 911 phone lines in the city of St. Louis, but the governor has no plans to do so at this time. St. Louis Public Safety spokesman Monty Chambers has issued statements saying the city is working to build a new 911 center to house all police, fire, and EMS dispatchers under one roof, raise the starting salary for a police dispatcher to $39,000, have plans to cross-train dispatchers so they can fill in for each other, and has already combined police and EMS dispatchers in the 911 center.